There's me list. Look for yourself.
These other names, what's the idea?
The idea is I'm going to get all of them and you're going to help me.
Oh, like hell I am. You're off your face.
And you don't learn, do you? I said you're going to help me.
Oh, yeah? Why should I?
Because if you don't, I'll work from the top of the list.
This is the authorization for your release. You'll be leaving us tomorrow.
They can't. They can't. I'm getting married. They know that.
But surely this is better. The only difference is you'll be arriving in a car.
Oh, yeah, but the girls were going to help me get ready and everything. It won't be the same if I'm on the outside. Please, Mrs. Reynolds, do something to stop it.
Still wasting time with the girly talk, are we, eh? Chatting about weddings when you should be working.
Yeah, we were just taking bits on what you was going to wear.
Again, Kelly? I didn't quite hear...
Miss Ferguson?
What the hell was all that about? Either she was pulling a shifty... Bugging if I know what she's up to. What have you lost? What? Anything wrong? No, I was just thinking of something. Well, not good. What are you staring at? Nothing. Going through? Take it out of me. I've never seen the freak like that before. It's like she was right off the air.
Or wants us to think she is.
Yeah, but why?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just automatically suspicious of anything that she does.
Maybe she's in love. Well, that turns you funny. Look how Warren's going on.
Give it a rest, will you, Kelly?
Yeah, that's what it is. Freak's in love. I bet I know who she's got the hots for.
Shut up, Kelly.
Oh, well, don't you think dykes can recognise each other?
Look, Shovel, I'm sick to death of your foul mouth.
Oh, please forgive my sins. Listen to it. Saint Bloody Patterson.
If Miss Ferguson's been behaving strangely, we should remember she's just lost her father. They were very close. Maybe the shock's affected her more than we realise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that, I suppose.
We could try to show a little compassion.
No offence, Anita, but as far as the freak's concerned, I think that's asking a bit much.
God often asks a bit much, Myra. It's his way of sorting out those who really love him.
Hey, don't you know the first law of unpacking? Never, ever look at the packing paper, especially if it's old newspapers.
It isn't old, it's yesterday's.
Well, catch up on your reading later. Now come and have something to eat. I've got to go back to work in a minute. Dennis? What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just leave it. If I'd known about the funeral, maybe I should have gone.
Dennis, don't. That's the last thing you should have done, and you know it. The girl is dead. It's terrible, but it wasn't your fault. And there's nothing you can do that will bring her back.
If I'd just driven her home, she'd still be alive.
I don't want to sound unfeeling. I mean, it's tragic that something like this could have happened, but there's no point in ruining your life over it. You were not responsible.
I wonder how her parents are feeling. And how'd you cope with losing a child that way? I couldn't.
You know, there's something about a kitchen when the meal's over. It's sort of relaxing.
I reckon. As long as you don't have to wash the dishes.
You told me you didn't mind washing dishes. When I offered to help you the other night, you wouldn't let me.
Well, that's different. You know, one of the reasons I enjoy our little date night meals is because I can do everything myself. Cook, serve, and clear up afterwards. Of course, that's not the only reason I enjoy them.
All I can say to you, Mervyn Pringle, is the girl who marries you is going to think all her Christmases have come at once.
How's everything at home?
Oh, much the same. Let's talk about something cheerful, shall we? Have you managed to get the cake finished for Marlene's wedding?
Oh, I forgot. Come and have a look.
Oh, Merv. It's absolutely beautiful. But where did you find time to do all that icing and piping? Must have taken you ages.
Not really.
Go on, it must have. What's this?
Well, it's the...
Tell me you bought the cake.
Well, not really, but... Well, sort of.
But why?
You promise you won't tell anyone?
None of my business, I suppose.
Of course it is. We're friends, aren't we? I don't want you to think I'm keeping secrets. Well, I was going to make one, but I had a little accident, and I didn't have time to have another go, so I got this one from the shop. Do you think Marlene will like it?
Oh, of course she will. But did it really cost that much?
It'll clean me out quite a bit. But I wanted it right for Ma.
Well, I don't think you should have spent all that money, but... Oh, she'll be thrilled. She really will. It was a lovely thought. It really was.
Our secret, though. I mean, where it came from.
Of course.
It's not bloody fair.
What?
Can't tell you.
Righto.
I should promise not to tell anyone.
Look, I'm trying to read this, okay?
Promise.
I promise. What is it?
I got an early release. They want to turf me out.
Out?
Outside, tomorrow, for good.
Oh, you lucky bugger.
I am not. It's awful.
See why you didn't want me to tell anyone. They'd send you to the loony bin.
I'm supposed to be getting married, remember?
What's the diff? They'd still let you back in for that?
Some wedding. I'd have to leave as soon as it was over. Forever.
Come on, Rabbit. You knew you'd be getting that before Matt. You said it didn't matter.
Thought we'd have a bit of time together first. What's it going to be like out there all by myself?
Come off it. You've got your family and friends.
My family? They'll be all right, I know. My friends haven't been to visit me once. They haven't written to me ever since I've been in here. They won't want to know me on the outside. Be an ex-crim.
Well, we'll still be here. You can come and visit us, eh?
It won't be the same, Lex. I won't belong anymore.
Look, come off it, Rabbit. You do have people on the outside. What about Bobby?
Oh, she'll be good. I just don't want to have to go. I'm scared. Everything I know's in here. I knew I'd have to face it eventually, but I thought Matt and me'd have a bit of time together first. On top of that, my dress still isn't ready. I'm jinxed. Tell ya, bloody jinxed.
Come on in, Judy. Sit down. I've got the Driscoll House papers here for you to sign. But before we start on that, I've got something else I have to talk to you about.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
I think you might, actually. There's a parole board hearing next week. I'm going to recommend your immediate release. And I think there's every possibility that the recommendation will be accepted. Of course, there is still some details to be thrashed out.
But why? I mean, coming out of the blue like this, it just doesn't make sense.
It's not entirely out of the blue. The department's kept track of your record while you've been here, and there was some discussion of this at the last meeting. Unfortunately, some of the board members were hard to convince.
Well, why should they change their mind this time?
I think they will. First of all, there are a lot of people who think you shouldn't have been in prison in the first place. And that argument aside, I don't think anyone could say you're not rehabilitated now.
What, after I've copped 6 months for having a go at Mr. Crookshank and the freak? Miss Ferguson?
Yes, that. I've had a letter from Yamil Bakata.
Huh?
She says she was the one who attacked Mr. Crookshank. By mistake. And your attack on Miss Ferguson was so you'd get the blame.
Oh.
Any comment?
Mrs. Reynolds, you know that I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I've already spoken to Mr. Cruikshank about his involvement. He's had a strong reprimand. Although under the circumstances, I really don't think anyone was very much to blame. Now, assuming your parole does come through, do you still want to sell or do you want to think about it some more?
Could I continue to run it?
Oh, afraid not. I think the department would see that as, well, a bit of an embarrassment. But there's no reason why you can't continue to own it. You'd have no trouble with future rent payments. The department's given an undertaking on that. Although they would prefer it if you did sell.
Well, I'm going to have to think about that, okay?
Of course. I certainly don't want to rush you into anything. And I dare say this has taken you a little by surprise.
A little by surprise? You could say that.
Yeah, but why pick on sex? I mean, if God wanted to test people out, why didn't he make it a sin to eat chocolate pudding?
Well, I'm sure if you think about it for a minute, you'll see why.
Yeah, guess not everyone likes chocolate pudding, eh? He had to find something everyone wanted to do.
Didn't count on Warren then, did he?
I like sex.
Oh, how would you know? You read a book about it. You and the nun would make a good pair.
Wouldn't expect you to understand, Lou.
Hey, Jude, what did Mrs. Reynolds want? You're not in trouble, are you?
No? I'm getting out. I'm going to get paroled.
Judy, that's wonderful.
Well, it just shows what can happen if you crawl hard enough.
What are you going to do when you get out?
Oh, I don't know yet, do I? But one thing's for sure, it'll be easier to fight that court case from out there than it would be from in here.
Yeah, can you imagine the look on Sheila's face when she finds out, eh?
Sister, would you come with me, please? You've got a visitor.
It's God come to see if she needs anything. Hey, tell him from me, if he gets me out of here, I promise I'll start going to church.
That's quite enough, Kelly.
Hey, Mrs. Barry, did you hear about Jude?
What's that?
She's been paroled.
Oh, Judy, that is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Barry.
When do you go?
Oh, I don't know. It's got to go for the board yet.
Well, let's hope it goes through without any problems. I'm sure it will. Oh, well done. That doesn't stop you all from working. Now, come on, get on with it.
Gee, Christmas must be coming early this year, eh? 1st June, now Jude.
I've never seen anyone get so many visitors as that nun. They reckon she's not getting special treatment. Great news, love.
Oh, it's the last thing I expected.
Gonna miss you.
All right, I'm sitting down. Now, what's the big news?
We have been invited to the World Peace Conference at Geneva.
We?
We. The two of us. You and me.
When?
It's a couple of weeks away. You'll be out in plenty of time.
Joe, that's... I've always wanted to see Switzerland.
It's supposed to be beautiful this time of the year. Very popular amongst the honeymoon set, I believe.
No, I can't.
How do you know? Ask them at least.
Them?
The church. Tell them you want to go. They can't stop you.
It's not the church, Joe, it's me. If I went, it'd be the end of our friendship, and of a lot more for me.
What are you talking about?
Because of the way I feel about you. You want something to happen. Part of me wants it to happen too. Let's face it, if we went to Geneva together, it'd happen, wouldn't it?
It would if I had anything to do with it. Do you realize what you're saying? You're admitting you feel the same about me as I do about you.
I should have stopped it at the beginning. I didn't because... I suppose because it flattered my ego. I'm ashamed, Joe. For both our sakes, we have to stop it now before it gets out of hand.
It already has, Anita. Hey, we need each other. Now, you can't turn your back on that.
Don't, Joe. Touching's not allowed here.
Or anywhere else if your church had its way. I don't know why they bothered putting you in prison. You're just as much a prisoner outside. You're not renouncing the world, Anita. You're hiding from it. Why? What are you afraid of? You're a human being just like I am. Flesh and blood. We each have one life. One life, Anita. To waste it, to throw it away on nothing. Oh, that's the only real sin as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sorry. The choice isn't mine. If I was expelled from the order, then maybe it'd be different.
Don't say it isn't your choice. It is. And it's damn simple. Me or the church. For once in your life, Anita, take some responsibility for your own happiness.
The church, Joe. I'm sorry.
Hello, Joyce.
Oh, hello, Mervyn. What have you got there?
Well, it's sort of a surprise.
Oh, Mervyn, that is absolutely wonderful. I can see all the officers' diets going right out the window. How very nice of you to make that for us.
No, that's not what I really meant. You see, it's shaped like a heart to sort of...
For the death of that girl. Well, he's been through a lot. Perhaps he just needs more time.
Hey, look what Mervyn's made for us.
Isn't that lovely? It's delicious. Thank you, Mervyn. That's the way to win friends.
Nothing really, just no trouble. I hope you enjoy it.
He's a sweet man, isn't he?
He really seemed quite embarrassed.
Yeah, a bit shy, I think.
And a bit of a romantic too, perhaps.
Oi! Bill!
Mate, will you stick those things away for us while I clean up?
No worries.
Come on, let's go.
Come on, Delaney.
Oh, left for a smoking man. Can I get it? Hurry up.
Come on, Bert, hurry!
My report on the bashing. Have a look at the last bit, see if it makes any sense to you. Any more of that cake left?
It's time you went home and had a decent meal, isn't it?
Well, as soon as I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well, that looks all right to me. You know, I've been thinking, that thing of Fry asking you to get evidence against Joan, that's a huge responsibility.
Why do you think Fry gave it to me? As much as I know Joan deserves to be booted out of the service, I'm not really looking forward to compiling the evidence against her. But at least this time the push to get rid of us coming directly from the department, so we can expect their support when the time comes.
Yes. Mr. MacDonald? Yes. My name's Dennis Cruikshank. Could I talk to you? Cruikshank? Yes, I'm the one they charged over your daughter's death.
What do you want?
Just to talk. I thought it might help both of us.
Look, I don't think my wife could cope with it. You better come in.
What's wrong?
Nothing?
You sure? You look a bit pale.
Oh, just a bit of a headache. I'm fine.
Look, if you want to sit down, I'll do lock up for you.
Why, so you can tell everyone I can't do my job properly?
Forget I spoke.
Well, look, Mr. Crookshank, I'm sorry that you were put through all that. But I frankly don't see what we can do for you.
It's not that I want you to do anything. I'd just like you to know how sorry I am. You see, I can't help feeling responsible. I told her hitchhiking was dangerous and all that, but when I let her out of the car in all that rain, I knew full well she'd go straight off looking for another lift. If I'd just taken the trouble to drive her home...
But you didn't.
Mr. Crookshank, listen to me. There's no way that you could have known what was going to happen. There are dozens of girls like Christine out on the roads hitchhiking rides. I see them every morning when I'm driving to work, every afternoon when I'm coming home. What are you supposed to do? Collect them? Drive them all home? It's up to us. Up to their parents to try and make them see just how dangerous it is. In our case, we obviously failed.
And all those girls out there hitching lifts, would they be doing it if they didn't think it was safe? We obviously failed. Why don't you tell him why we failed? Tell him how many times we tried to tell her. She thought we were stupid when we said it was dangerous. She thought she was safe. It's people like you that make them think that. Put them off their guard so that when some animal like the one that killed her comes along, what hope have they got? You're every bit as guilty as he is, and I won't have my husband tell you you're not.
I'm sorry. I think you better go.
Yes, but I just
There's
want
no
you to know...
point in talking, Mr. Crookshank. All we know is our daughter is dead.
Hey, where you been all this time? I've just been doing something.
Yeah, what?
You'd laugh.
Hey, you've done something to your hair.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, give us a look.
It's not dry yet.
What'd you do?
I got Mum to send me some hair colour. Some coppery tints that catch the sun, you know, like models have.
Oh, give us a...
I thought it'd look great at the wedding, especially if it's sunny, and Matt's gonna love it. Dunno, though. I think I might have gone a bit far.
Let me see.
Jeez, Mum! What do you think?
It's pink.
Is it okay, you reckon?
That's fantastic.
Oh, good.
What about Driscoll House? Still reckon you'll sell it? I don't know, love, thanks. There are a lot of points for it and against it.
Yeah, well, don't let them rush you into making a decision.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Reynolds said I could take as much time as I like.
Not going to be the same without you, you know. I mean, who have I got to have a talk to?
Yeah, me too. I just can't believe that it's happened. I don't think it's hit me yet.
Well, if I was you, I would not be complaining.
I'm not, believe me.
Strange.
What?
Well, she shut the door, but I didn't hear it locked, did you?
Oh, I don't know, honey. I wasn't listening.
What do you reckon? Jill, I don't know. You've been here longer than me. Has she ever left the doors unlocked before?
Well, no one has, especially not the freak. It must be a trick.
Only one way to find out.
What are you doing?
I'm going to see what's going on.
But what if somebody sees you?
I'll tell Mum on my way to report the doors being left open.
Oh, yeah, they'll really believe that.
Coming or not?
I'm staying here. You can get yourself put in a pound if you want.
Suit yourself. Why is it so quiet? Jeez, give me a fright, why don't you? Thought you said you weren't coming.
I got nervous by myself.
What are you doing here? Freak left our door open.
Yeah, same with us. I don't know what she's up to, but I don't like it.
Hey, what the hell's going on?
See, she's locked some of them in.
Who's out there? Come on, what's happening?
Oh, shut up!
Get knotted, Yank. What are you doing?
Shut up! Now get back to your cells before she brings the whole place down on top of us. Get moving or we'll all end up in a pound.
What do you think it'll do to your wedding plans and Judy's parole if they catch us out here?
Oh, look, who's going to catch us? There's no one around.
We don't know who's around now. Get going.
But we can't just go to bed and miss an opportunity like this. I've got a great idea. Why don't we get some food and we'll go to the rec room and then we can...
You heard Myra, it's a trap.
Oh, bull. I reckon the freak's just getting a bit absent-minded and I am going to make the most of it. Don't wait up for me.
I don't get it.
Neither do I. But whatever she's planning, we are not going to go along with it. We're all going to stay exactly where we are.
Well, you've got a lot of explaining to do.
Oh, you're hurting, please. I wasn't doing nothing.
Escaping from your cell after lock-up, you call that doing nothing?
But I didn't escape. You left the door unlocked.
Now you watch it. You're in quite enough trouble.
But you did, and Myra's too. If you don't believe me, you just got to check. You did.
Listen, you breathe one word of this, just one. I'm going to make you wish you were dead. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now get in there.
Where you'd got to, I was just about to phone to see if you'd left.
Sorry, I slept through the alarm. I was out a bit late last night.
Yeah, I hope you feel better than you look.
I'm all right. I said I'm all right.
Oh, there's no need to snap my head off. I've had enough of that from Joan.
I'm sorry, no, I'm not all right. I've got a lousy hangover. You're the last person I should be taking it out on. What's the matter with Joan, anyway?
God knows she's been scratchier than ever. It was a relief when she went home.
Oh, that's good. I'm not in the mood for her. I went to see that girl's parents last night. You were right. It was a stupid thing to do. It just made things worse all around.
Well, at least you got it out of your system.
Yeah.
She could have put you on a charge. Told you to stay put.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, okay?
Just do what you bloody well told next time.
I don't understand why she left the door unlocked, though.
Oh, it was a trap. It had to be. She's probably just hiding around the corner, waiting for whoever it was that bashed her.
Lexi, Marlene, you, me. No. I don't think so.
All right, maybe not. But what's the answer, then?
Well, it's going to sound strange, but I don't think she meant to do it.
Come off it, Myra. We're talking about the freak here. I mean, can you see her forgetting to lock a door?
Yeah, I can if she wasn't thinking straight.
You mean like in the long run?
Yeah. Well, for a moment there, she didn't know where she was or what she was doing.
Maybe she's just trying to get us off guard.
No, not with us.
Well, we never know our luck. She might forget to lock a door tonight.
Yeah, perhaps. As long as people don't carry on like this idiot. Oi.
Yeah?
You listening?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ma, you got a bit of egg on your chin. Give it back! They would have noticed sooner or later. Give it back!
Oh, what happened to your hair?
Oh, yeah, it looks real nice, like someone chucked it all over.
Shut up. Give it to me, Lexi. Just mixed it wrong, that's all. Anyone can make a mistake.
It's pink.
Yeah, it is big.
Give me that. Here, love.
Well, honey, you never know. You might be starting a new style.
Yeah. Do you think I should leave it like that?
No, I don't think the world's ready for that yet. Maybe you should dye it back to its natural color.
I thought you'd say that. Bug.
Hey, lady, I haven't got all day.
What are we doing here?
Well, you told me to stop here. This is where you asked for.
No, Flemington. I want to go to Flemington.
Now look, there's already $22 on the clock. Flemington's going to cost you another 10.
And I'll give you $32 if and when we get there.
Make that noise. It's a bit rough, isn't it? No, I wouldn't worry though. It's like a bit of a racket that's warmed up properly. Well, it's probably just me. My ears are a bit sensitive this morning. Hey, are you hurt? My arm. Oh, what the hell made us do that? I don't think that's too bad, actually. It's lucky you didn't take your head off, though.
I've never blown up before, but the first time I've ever seen it happen.
Well, these things happen. Now, come on, let's get that arm seen to. Come on. You hold the first one. Yeah, okay. See you, Jeff.
I'm not entirely sure it's good news as far as our case is concerned.
But why?
We've lost our sympathy vote. Our opponent, living the high life of a rock singer, while you, the real reason for her success, languish in prison. But once you're released...
Tough. I'm not staying in here for nobody.
Of course not. Now, my initial letter to the recording company and the girl's manager brought the expected denials. They say your allegations are totally without foundation, and if you continue to make them, they'll issue a counter writ for damages.
How can they do that?
Well, they'll do it all right. It's traditional. Now, our next move is to brief counsel and issue a Supreme Court summons. That is, if you care to go ahead with it.
You go ahead and do it. And I don't care what it takes. People have got to know the truth.
Right, you hold it there while I slide it over the runners. Yeah, hello, look at that. The holding nut's been bent all out of whack. Must have been what threw the blade off. I wonder how he got like that in the first place.
Don't ask me. Don't know nothing about mechanical stuff.
Well, mind you, it could have happened when the blade shattered.
I suppose that makes sense.
You know, lucky the guard plate was good and strong, otherwise McRae could have ended up with a lot more than a cut arm.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't give us rubbish like that to work with.
There's nothing wrong with the equipment, Burke. It was an accident, that's all.
Yeah, suppose so.
Well, things aren't looking so bad now. Mr. Askin said I shouldn't sell the house.
Oh, that's fine for him to say, but how are you going to pay your legal fees?
Well, with the back rent from Driscoll. Well, he said it would only cost $1,000 or so. That's unless I lose.
And if you lose?
Well, then I lose the house. But in the meantime, I can use the security, you see. Trouble is, when I get out of here, I'm going to have to get a job straight away to cover living expenses.
A job? Who's going to give you a job? Look at you.
Oh, shut up.
What a joke. An ex-crim with a tricky ticker who's nearly old enough for the pension. And she reckons she's going to get a job.
I have got plenty of working years left in me yet, which is more than you'll have by the time you get out of here.
Hey, you can say that again, especially after tomorrow.
What's happening tomorrow?
She goes to trial.
Again? She'll tack a few extra years onto the score.
Oh, I'm real worried.
Oh, well, you should be. I saw your lawyer leaving here the other day after he had a talk with you. By the look on his face, I'd say he wouldn't even be turning up tomorrow.
Very funny. Okay, let's switch off and pack up.
Well, I'll know better about the long-range plan once I get to Sheila to court, you know.
How do you really feel about leaving this place?
Well, I'm going to miss everybody. Most everybody. I don't know, love. I haven't had a chance to really think about it. I suppose if I did, I'd be so depressed I wouldn't want to go.
Hey, you're not leaving before tomorrow, eh? You won't miss the wedding.
There's no way I'd miss that.
Oh, me either. I mean, I'm really glad you're staying. I'd hate for you to miss it.
Oh, come off it, Rabbit. Miss the wedding. We've got to see what colour your hair turns up.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, it could be green, maybe.
What the hell made you go over there anyway?
I wanted to talk to them.
What? Didn't it occur to you that they may not want to talk to you?
I wanted to see if there was anything I could do to help them. Is there something wrong with that?
Under the circumstances, I'd say yes, or are you so bloody thick you can't see that? Now, in the future, don't go near...
Look, I know this has got nothing to do with me, however...
No, that's right, Mrs. Morris, nothing to do with you.
Don't, Inspector. I'm not one of your so-called suspects. He thought it would help. And I don't think there are many people that have the guts to do that.
Yeah, well, whatever the reasons, Mrs. MacDonald is very upset, and I'm not surprised. It was bloody stupid.
You just can't admit that you were on the wrong about me.
Nothing to do with it.
Oh, aye, tell me another. You decided I was guilty just because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. My only crime was to buy a second-hand car that happened to have a pair of old mouldy tights shoved down back of seat. I mean, why didn't you give up, Grace? I mean, why aren't you out there trying to find the real killer?
As a matter of fact, we have found the real killer. We picked him up early this morning. He's given us a full confession.
Oh, thank God.
Why didn't you say that in the first place?
No one's given me a chance to say anything. Look, things will probably settle down for you now anyway. And thanks for assisting us in our inquiries. Mrs. Morris?
Well, your foolproof plan to get McRae worked real well, eh? With enemies like you, who needs friends?
Don't push your luck, love. It was a good plan.
Oh, it was bloody pathetic. But then seeing it was you, I really wasn't expecting much.
Came close enough to working. Just bad luck, it didn't.
Yeah, well, it's about time you came up with a plan that doesn't depend on luck. But I suppose that's asking a bit much.
You reckon? Well, you just get yourself ready, because before this afternoon's over, McRae and Desmond are both going to be dead. You and me will have this place right in our pockets.
Everything always has to turn out wrong.
Marlene, will you calm down? There is no point in having a nervous breakdown. The dress will get here when it gets here.
Well, it isn't going to be today, is it? I mean, what must the time be?
Well, if worst comes to worst, we can always run something up for you.
Dude, that isn't even funny.
All right, don't get your wig wet. Oh, sorry, I should have said that either.
Oh, God, you're not still reading that Catholic rubbish, are you? How long's it going to take you to wake up to yourself?
It's not rubbish.
What is it then?
You don't know anything about it, Kelly.
I know plenty of people went to Catholic schools, came out all screwed up with their heads full of ideas about sin and going to hell. And they never get over it. They spend their whole lives scared stiff about what God's going to do to them when they're dead.
Well, at least they end up better people.
Bull! Do you know how many Catholics are in this joint? The place is loaded with them.
Look, it doesn't prove a thing.
OK, Patterson. What about this then? Micks aren't allowed to screw until they're married, right? And even then they're not allowed to take the pill. That's why there's so many starving kids in the world. I mean, it'd be different if the Pope tried to help him, but all he does is fly around the world kissing the ground. What good's that then?
Oh, hell, I don't know. Wait and see what Anita says when she gets back with the skip.
She's not going to tell you the truth. She's trying to get at you. She wants to turn you into a good little nun like she is.
Be a hell of a lot better than ending up like you, Kelly.
Oh, shut up.
Judy, you've got a visitor.
Oh, who is it?
Sheila Brady.
You're kidding. I didn't think she'd have the nerve.
Well, she's in the visitors' room. I mean, you don't have to see if you don't want to. Remember what your solicitor said.
Yeah, well, anything she has to say, she can say through my solicitor. I'm not going to let her screw up my case.
Right, I'll tell her. On Marlene, your mother phoned for the one.
Must have been about the dress. When does it arrive, Mrs. M?
I don't know. Miss Hagan took the call. Why don't you read?
Mrs. Morris, I've changed my mind. I'll see her after all.
You sure?
Yes. I want to tell her face to face what I think of her.
Right, come on.
Come on, Rabbit, what's it say? What's it say?
Oh, hell. Now what?
Hi, Jude. How's it going? Don't sit down. This'll only take a second. You pretended to be my friend and then you stole something from me. In my book, you're not worth spitting on. When you came in here, you thought you were worth nothing. I did everything I could to prove you wrong. But it looks as though I was wrong, because you are worth nothing.
No, Jude. For God's sake, listen to what I've got to say. You can say whatever you like when I'm finished, but just listen to me, will you?
Yeah, all right. You certainly won't change my mind.
I just want to explain how all this stuff got started, just to make sure that you're okay. And listen, I've got something for you. It's only $1,000.
The song is not for sale.
Jude, it's not for the song. It's for being nice. It's for giving me the confidence to sing in front of people. God, otherwise Gary, that's one of the guys from the record company, well, he'd never have heard me. Well, anyway, he asked me if I had any of my own songs, and I played them for him. And he told me exactly what he thought of them. Jude, you should have told me how bad they were instead of letting me think they were all right. Well, anyway, he started to lose interest, and I was really frightened that I'd never get the chance again. So I thought you wouldn't mind if I played him your song. And he loved it, Jude. And everybody loved it. And it just all took off from there. Look, I would have told him it wasn't mine, but the time just wasn't right.
And why didn't you tell Mrs. Reynolds that on the phone?
Because she didn't talk to me. That was Dave, my manager. I mean, as far as he knew, it was my song. And the first I heard about any of it was when I got the letter from your solicitor. God, I felt really rotten then. But anyway, everyone knows about the whole story now. And from now on, all the records are going to have your name on it, and you'll get all the royalties and whatever else you think's fair. Honest, Jude. Oh, God. Look, I don't blame you for thinking like this about me, but I tell you one thing, Jude. I never meant to cheat you. It just all happened so fast, that's all.
Well, I gotta admit, I was pretty surprised you'd do something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to do an album, Jude. And Dave and Gary and everyone, well, they want you to do all the material for it. And I do too, Jude. Look, it's not because I think I owe you or anything like that. It's just that I reckon between the two of us, we could come up with the biggest selling album this country's ever seen. Well, what do you reckon?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well, look, I know it's going to be hard working from here, but we can work around it.
Well, that doesn't apply anymore. I'm getting released soon.
Oh, Jude, that's fantastic.
It's pretty terrific, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, God. Well, where are you going to be living?
Oh, I haven't had a chance to think about that yet.
Well, you don't have to. Listen, I've just moved into a fantastic new flat and it's got stacks of room. You could move in right away and we could get working on the album. What do you reckon?
Well,
come on, what's the matter?
Oh, Sheila, look, I've only written one song. I'm not sure I can do it again.
Jude, you can do it standing on your head. Come on, are we going to do it or not?
All right.
Kidding. Oh, I love it.
Oh. Come on, love. Carrying on like this is not going to help. Okay, so your mum couldn't get a bigger size in that style.
Style be buggered, she couldn't get a bigger size in any style.
Well, she hasn't given up, has she?
She might as well have shop shut in an hour.
It's amazing what you can do in an hour.
Yeah, like I can kill myself for a start.
Oh, come on, don't talk... What do you want?
Her Holiness the Nun wanted me to give you a message. But if you're not interested...
Oh, right. What's the message?
She says she's got to see you in the library.
I'll be there in a minute. Come on. Stop carrying on like a little kid. It'll be all right. We'll fix everything. Somehow.
All right, she'll be here in a minute. Now what?
Now, you go to the rec room, get McRae. Want to introduce him to my friend here.
Yeah, well, you better do it right this time. That's all I can say.
Hang on. Want your story to be convincing, don't we?
I can do it! I said I can do it!
Yeah. Needs a drop of blood just to finish off your effect.
Oh, no way.
You bastard! Better get moving before Desmond gets here.
Hey, where's Myra? I got something to tell her.
Oh, she's with Marlene, I think.
Well, I'm the one with a bad arm. What's your excuse?
Things on my mind, haven't I?
Don't sweat. People get married all the time. Nothing to it.
Hey, McRae. I reckon you might be interested. Burke's going off his brain in the library.
Why not? He's done it just about everywhere else. Jesus, what the hell's the matter with you?
Away. Which is more than I can say for Myra, though.
What are you talking about?
Just goes to show. Didn't even think Burke was that desperate.
Jeff! No, I'll handle this.
Bloody hell. What's it take to knock you out, Desmond? Want another one? Just for the hell of it?
Okay, now what?
We're not going to waste time nursing her back to health, are we? You look after Desmond. I'll look after this bastard for the last time.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside. and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.